Very well. Today's topic is automation. What is automation? Automation means what can we do automatically in the software rather than user intervention or logic driven some work which the system can do. Till now, what we have studied is how we can capture data in different objects and making records on that object, how to control who sees what records in those tables. But now, the very important part for which probably you will be hired in organizations, right? That would be automations, because this is a little advanced things to do for a administrator, and many times the skill set is little weak in the organizations, and that is where you come into picture, right? You will be probably deploying automations or creating automations for organizations. So very important. When we just type automation, this is the process automations, and you will see there are many automation techniques. There are many ways in which you can do automations in Salesforce. Okay. We will discuss most of them. The workflow rules was the first way in which there was a drag and drop automations you can do in Salesforce. Okay. Workflow rules has now been, you cannot create new workflow rules in Salesforce. So if you go back and see this and create a new rule, you see basically they are telling that flow builder is the future of code automation. You can use it to create most of the automation found in workflow rules. Start using flows today. So Salesforce is saying that do not create new workflow rules. But why are we seeing this? We are seeing this because it is easy. It is limited functionality. And most of the organization today probably will still have workflow rules. So many of them will ask you to now like migrate my logic from workflow to flow. In that case, what you have to do, you have to at least understand how a workflow rule works. So it is a good topic to now discuss. So let's see a workflow rule. Yeah, try not to create new workflow rules. This we are showing just for your understanding, so that you understand the logic of a workflow rule. So first thing the workflow rule does is select an object. What is an object? Object on which this workflow rule will fire. That means the automatic process will fire. So I have selected, I want to do some automation on account. Okay. What you can do, many things you can do. Let's see. So workflow rule is account automation. Okay. Let's see what account automation we want to do. So I want to do account automation can be fired on created when a new account is getting created, when it is created, or every time it is edited. You can fire it. Both of these are possible. And created, and anytime it is edited to subsequently meet criteria. What does that mean? That means when it is created, this will fire. And whenever this rule criteria is true for the first time, it will fire. That means if a field value like this, I will make account equals to yes. This is my criteria, that it has to be an active account, then only this rule will fire. When I choose this, the first time account equals yes, that is the condition. It will fire only once. It will never fire again if the account is still yes. Active status is still yes. If you change the active status to no and save it, this automation will not fire because the criteria is not matching. But again, you go back to that record and change it again to yes. Whenever this criteria again starts matching after changing, then this automation will again fire. Any questions so far? So the difference between this one and this one is that this fires every time you hit the save button, and this fires only once when this criteria is satisfied. Clear? Any questions? Any confusion?
So what will happen if you select the created thing only?
Sorry?
Only the created.
Then it will only fire once when the record got created. That's it.
Okay.
It will never fire again. So these are the things which you can do in a workflow rule. You can create a new task. Let's see, automatic tasks can we create? We'll say this is assigned to Animesh and subject is give a call. So I am asking that whenever a new account is created, I want the people to give a call after 3 days, right? Account created date plus 3. Status is not started, priority will be high. Please give customer needs to be called after details. Yeah, and save it. So this is one automation you are doing when the record is getting created or updated to active for the first time. Yeah, you can say do a field update. Field update means, so you can say I will description autofill, description autofill. What happens? Which field I want to automatically fill? Description. Okay, I will say here I will type this account is now active. I want to put this in the description autofill. What I want to do, I want to send an email alert. What is an email alert? For email alert, you need to first create a template. Okay, what is an email template? You will have to, template is the body of the email. Okay, so and why do we create a template? Because we can use the same body in multiple places, not only in the workflow automation, you can use it anywhere else. So here, classic email templates. So here there are many templates already given, but you can also create a new template. Let us see, text is the template form. You can use HTML also. That can have, so I will say that available for use because I want this template to be used. So account activated is my template, and what I will say, account is activated. In this account, now if this mail will go for any account, right? How will you distinguish that which account got activated? Actual, it's a good idea to give the name of the account, right? Here, this account got activated, right? Makes sense. But that will be different for every account, right? How do I now make sure that every account will have a different name coming up in the mail when it goes out? For that, we have a merge field. Merge field is what? Anything which is changing. So I will take account fields and I have account name. You see merge field is created here. So I will just copy this and paste it here. Hi, and body also. Account has been activated for you. Please give a call after 3 days. Regards, Homo. Okay, save. Now you say we have activated a email ID, okay, and which is available for use. That is very critical. Okay, remember that. So now we will go back to the workflow. We have created a template, a body. Here is the workflow rule which we were making. Account automation. So we'll go to this again, edit this, and we will add another email alert. Email alert is account activated. Email template is what? I will search it. Account activated email template. I will use it. Who is the recipient? Recipient would be the account owner, right? I will add the account owner. And we can use the current email user's email address, that means the person who is logging in, or you can create a org-wide email ID. How do you create an org-wide email ID? You can create this here, org-wide addresses. Here you can add a generic email from which you want to send mails. Okay, you activate it, and then basically you can use that there also. Any queries so far? I will go back, edit, and I will also add an email template. Please play around with this. Account activated. I did not save it last time. Template is account activated. We'll change this to account owner, and we'll add the owner who will get this and save it. So now we go back to that rule, and let's just see if it is activated or not. Yeah, we have to activate it here. See, it is not active. So that means you have created the rule, but by default it is not active. Then you have to activate it. When you are activated it, then it will start working. So now let's test it. So let's create a new account. Test workflow. Will this fire the workflow or not? What do you think?
So we have not given any email address
Which email address?
of the account.
This will go to whom?
This will. This is account. This is account. A new account is saved.
There are three things will happen. There is a task, there is email alert, and there is a field update. Three things is going to happen, right? We have defined three things. So task will be created to whom? Let's see it once again. We are creating to user, Animesh Banerjee.
User. Yes.
Specific user, right? We can change this to account owner also. Let's save it to account owner. So now I did not assign it to specific user. I assigned it to the account owner. That means who is the account owner? Who is the account?
You are the account owner.
Yeah, it is showing up here.
Yes.
Right? So I'm creating the account. Of course, I am the account owner. So I will get the mail. Where will the email ID be found?
So in your
user
profile,
email ID.
Huh?
in your user profile.
Absolutely right. So if I have Animesh Banerjee as a user, every account owner is actually a user. So if I go here, of course, there is the email ID I have. So it will be sent to my email ID. Clear? So will it fire or not? That is the question. All these three things will happen. That will happen. One task will get created, one email will be sent, and one field will be updated, right? That is what description field. Am I filling anything in description? I am not filling anything in description, but I expect something to be filled up here. Now tell me, the automation will fire or not? Let's test it, right? So when I saved it, just check the description field. Nothing gets populated. Do you have a task? There is no task. Did any mail come to me? Let's see. I don't think there is any mail of this kind, right? So
The mail, this mail will come under after 3 days.
no. Mail will not come after 3 days. Task is created instantly. The task action is in 3 days. That is it. Due date of the task is 3 days from now. Nothing will go after 3 days.
Yes, the call was supposed to happen on the
You will call that person after.
created date plus 3.
Right. That is the due date of that task will be 3 days from now. But there it will be same. So why it is not firing? Why do you think this is not firing? Tell me why it is not firing.
So it's active also, then why it's not firing?
Sir, evaluation criteria is not meeting, sir.
Absolutely right. Which criteria is not meeting?
Sir, we are
Active
selected.
equal to yes.
Active
When
is
we
equal to
will,
the active is
we will
blank. It is not
uh,
meeting. That's why it is not firing. So now let's change this and I will make it to yes
yes.
and save it. Now you see description field is automatically filled up. Okay. In activity, I already have a task. You have an upcoming task. Customer needs to be called after 3 days. Right? You will always get a reminder for this. Alarm for this, right? And what? You are supposed to get a mail. Now, why did the mail did not come? We will see the email delivery. Email delivery settings. This is the delivery settings. All mails are there. Let's go to the spam.
So I think you need to refresh the inbox once.
Hmm?
You need to refresh the inbox.
Box refresh, right? Normally auto refresh you have. Let me check what is happening. Next. We'll see what is happening anyway. So it is supposed to get a mail to me. Always it comes what has happened. Okay, let's see the workflow one second. Did we miss anything? Now why it is. Let me make it a specific user and find out what is going on. Okay. Now we'll create an account this time and we'll meet the criteria. This will fire the workflow or not?
It will fire, sir.
Description is now directly activated. Activity is directly created. Okay. And we expect a mail to come also, but yeah, somehow the mail is, I think, delayed through Salesforce server. Probably it will come later. Okay. I will show you how it looks like. It will be like this one. Okay. Something like this, a mail will come to you. Okay. Okay. And we'll say check why the mail got deleted. Anyway, so now you understand the fourth the workflow rule. You can do 4 things. If you can also fire, you can also fire outbound message. What is this? Basically, it is communicating from Salesforce to any other application which is not Salesforce, right? That can be a Java application or any other applications, right? We will not discuss this topic. It's an integration topic. It's an advanced topic. So there are 4 things you can do through workflow. Only these 4. So one thing to see that there is no way you can create a new record, right? Only you can create a task, email, update the field, any field on that same object which is firing the workflow, or if it's a master detail, then you can even update the parent fields also. And outbound message. This is something which is a advanced topic. But these are all the 4 items or 4 things you can do using workflow. But what will you do if you want to create a new record automatically? It's not possible. So therein, there was another automation which Salesforce brought in, which is called process builder. Here also, you can see, you can create new processes and you can create flow builder. Again, it is asking you to use flow builder. That means use flows, but we will also see how a process works so that you can also transfer the logic from process to flow at a later date. So what we will do, we will create a contact automatically. This is something which we were not able to do when we were using workflow, right? This is something that does not happen. So what is this? Always, most of the time, a record changes happen. That means either you're creating a record or updating the same thing. What are the other things? It is a little advanced topic. We'll not discuss this right now. Similarly, here you can choose which object. Again, we will choose account. And this time we are seeing that when the record is created, then only I will fire it. Or you can choose the same logic. When the record is created or edited, you add a criteria. Criteria is called account active. Same thing. Let us do how we can check this. What is the criteria? When conditions are met, which criteria is account active. Active equals to yes. It is asking is all the conditions are met. Customize this logic. If you have multiple conditions, you can also add this. Do you want to execute the actions only when specified changes are made to the record? What does it mean? When you select yes, the actions are executed only if the record meets the criteria now, but the values that the record had immediately before it was saved didn't meet criteria. That means the same logic. Workflow rule, the third logic of workflow rule, you can apply using this. That means it will only fire once. These criteria matches. After that, every time you hit the save button, it will not change. It will not fire it because the criteria is has remained same. But if you change it to no, then make it yes, again it will fire. Clear? After no, you have to save the record, otherwise it will not fire. Okay, just changing the value to no and then again changing the value to yes, that will not fire. Okay, you have to save as no first, then again save it with yes, then again this will fire. So I have selected this advanced control. So this will fire only once. What does it fire? Now I will create a record, which I did not have. And I will say, I will create a contract automatically. Which record? Contract. For contract, last time is always mandatory. Yeah. So what will I do? I can use a formula field or a field reference. Let us use a field reference. What is a field reference? Field reference means the value of account which you want to use here. So I will say, I will use directly the account name. Whatever I fill in the account, that will become the last name. First name also I want to fill up. First name will be string. I will say it will be called auto. I will add how I have to associate, right, this to the account. So the account ID needs to be filled up. I will also use again field reference, which is the ID field. I will take the value from account. So I am associating account ID to the contacts account ID field. I have just hard coded auto. That means I have just put a string. This will never change. All contacts will have auto as first name. The last name will be the account name itself. But what if I want to do something else? I want to put some things. I will change this to a formula and I will build a formula. I will use a field again. Let's use the name again, account name. But this time I want to let's use a text function. What are the different text functions we have? Is a funny control. I will use a account name and I will reverse it. And I will add a test like that. Let's see. Hit the use button, then only it will show up here. So let's see what funny things happen here. And I have to again activate it just like flows, right? So let's confirm. So let's test it with the new account now again. Test, we'll say test automation, test process. I will activate this and make it yes. So the workflow rule is also firing. It is not stopping us, right? The workflow rule has fired. Auto amount has got in. I have activity created. The email should also trigger. I also see a contact. These got created from our process builder. What happened? If you go to the details, the account got associated. ID field was filled up. Name auto, and this was in reverse test process, and it also added a test after that, right? That is exactly what we did on the process builder, right? We reverse the name of the account and then any questions so far?
So
Great.
we have to use both of them or single process at a time? Like we have to use process builder or workflow process?
Do not have to use anything because process builder and flows both are not the automation Salesforce wants you to create anymore. If you want to create a new automation, you should always use a flow, which we are discussing now. We will discuss now.
Okay.
This what it was a topic for you to now go ahead and get your hands on. So you create workflow and practice just for knowledge, because in an existing organization where you start working, they will definitely have workflows. They will definitely have flows. Processes. So process builders. So these two things is you have to first understand. Otherwise, you will never be able to understand what automations are firing for that object, right? Sometimes the customer will ask you, please delete the workflow and migrate the logic and create a new flow for us, right? So how do I migrate the whole logic now to flow, to a new flow? Let's see. Let's do it one by one. I will go back to here, and here I can type flow are of 5 types. 6 types now. Okay. Primarily, what is the difference between a flow and process builder workflows? So workflow was a primitive automation which only supported 4 types of actions. Somebody unmute and tell me what are the 4 actions a workflow can do.
So task, email alert.
Task, email alert,
Give a call and
update existing record.
and mail and send mail.
No. এটা হচ্ছে কিছু না? Select existing record.
Select existing record. What will I do with select existing record?
ওটা
What are the 4 actions we could do in a workflow?
So we can send mail, give a call,
Send mail?
task, send mail, make a task, and
Create a task. Don't use make a task word. Create a task is one. Send mail second. What more?
give a call, third.
Give a call.
Hmm.
What do you mean by give a call? এতক্ষণ ধরে ক্লাস হচ্ছে তোমার মনে করতে পারছো না 4টে টাস্ক? Nobody is paying attention. সিনেমা দেখার করে মতন পড়লে তো কিন্তু খুব প্রবলেম। আগে চলে যাচ্ছে ব্যাপারটা, বুঝতে পারছো? থ্রিলার স্টোরি একটা সিন মিস করলে কিন্তু কিছুই মাথায় ঢোকে না। It's absolutely critical to pay attention
and see this. What did we do? কি করলাম সেটাই মনে করতে পারছো না। What was this one? Field update. What did we do in this field update?
We filled up the description field.
একটা ফিল্ডে আমি ভ্যালু আপডেট করেছি।
হ্যাঁ,
So I can create a new task. I can do. I can send
email alert.
email alert. I can send a field. I can update automatically a field. I can also send
Outbound messages.
an outbound message. Okay. So you have to tell what is the difference between a process builder. This is the typical interview question. What is the difference between workflow and a process builder? What would be your answer?
We can't update the field through the workflow rule, but we can update the field through the process builder.
Right. তো workflow দিয়ে এখানটা কি দেখালাম আমি এতক্ষণ? Field updateটা কি তাহলে?
Create. We can't create.
Create a what?
Create a field.
Create a field you cannot do even using process builder. Process builder
Create a record. Create a record.
Please judge what you are talking about. Create a field is a admin task and that is a metadata. Automations are changing your data. It cannot change your metadata. Metadata is data, description of data. That means the table structure, name of it, creating a new table. That you can only do using object manager. There is no way to, we are not creating any automation to create a new table, create a new field. We are only creating or updating a row. That means a record in that table. That's it. All automations are working on data, not on metadata. Clear? Metadata means the object structure. If I say what is metadata, then you will say that this automation itself is metadata. This is configurations which we have done in the system. Okay. Automations is basically affecting data. Automation is not affecting metadata. So what is the difference between a workflow and a process builder? You can create a record. That is fine. That is entirely true. In process builder, we were able to create a record. We can do many more things. Yeah. If you want to update this, you can clone it and it's a new version of the current process that will happen. And you can add more actions. You see so many things you can do. You can fire some code, you can do email alerts, you can do like call another process from this process. Many more. You can submit for approval, update records, update child records, update parent records, no problem at all. So all the limitations of workflow are not there in process. Right? But what both of these did not have is a screen. Neither of them will have any screen. This is automatic logic, which is firing behind the scenes, right? Automatically, when you are saving the record, it's firing. And it is performing and doing what is asked to do, but there is no UI, there is no screen, right? Where you can ask for any data from users. So flow is a automation which allows you to build screens also. That is a major difference between. So there is screen flow. That means you can create a new screen altogether. And it will be like next. You have already seen this kind of screens, which is called wizard, which makes it easier to fill up records. Then you can also have record triggered flow, which is exactly how workflow and process builders work. When you save the button, you use the save button on a record, then it fires. There is no screen for this one. Exactly what. So this type of flow is able to do what you were doing using workflow and process builders, right? If you want to replace a flow or workflow process builder, you have to go for a record triggered flow. If you want to build a UI, you have to choose a screen flow. If you want to schedule something, that means automatically this logic will fire every night at 10 p.m. and it will work for many records which fits the criteria. Then it is scheduled triggered flow. Okay. There is also a record triggered orchestration, which has a many different diversification, which we will discuss. It's an advanced topic. We will limit ourselves only to these three types of flows. Okay. If you have a auto launched flow, you create an auto launch flow, then this flow can be fired from any other flow. Yeah, it's just like a common flow that you can reuse. Then you can use a auto launch. Yeah. This will also not have a UI. This will not also have a screen. This will not 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 have a screen. Only screen flow will have a screen. Clear? So if you need a screen, choose this. If you want to fire it immediately when the record is saved, you will choose this. If you want to do it every night, then you will choose this. This I will not discuss, advanced topic. This is if you want to use the same logic again and again from different places. In that case, create this flow. And this is an advanced topic. We will not discuss this. So I will do what the workflow as well as that one was trying to do. So which object are we firing it? We are firing on account. We are firing on record create or updated both. What was the condition? Condition was when active equal to yes, eclipse values. Yeah. And this will fire every time a record is updated and meets the condition requirement, or only when the record is updated and meets the condition. So it will fire only once. This is the condition we want, not to fire again and again. Now there are two ways this can run. It's a fast field update and actions and related objects. Which to choose when? The workflow and process both were firing after the record is saved into the database. Okay. It only fires after the record is saved. That means if you're firing an automation in create mode, then the record is saved. That means the record ID has also got created, and then the automation is firing. Okay. Or when you are firing it for edit mode, it means the field value has been updated, and now the automation is firing. But record triggered flow allows you to make the fire before the record is saved and after the record is saved. So this is before record is saved into the database. This is after the record is saved into the database. Why will I need before saving? So before saving a record, the trigger works very well when you want to make any manipulation to the field value, right? Like that description field we talked about, right? That description field was getting updated automatically, but that in workflow happens after the record is saved. That means when the record is saved into database, then the workflow fires, and that record is getting saved again. 2 times the record is getting saved automatically, right? But when you are using fast field update, at that time the record is getting saved only once. You have a logic which you can fire before doing it, and then it goes and gets saved into database. That means it will only fire once. The record will get saved only once. This will fire after the record is saved. That means the create has happened, the field values has been updated. That is typically how a process or workflows also work. So how do I decide which to choose at what end? The decision is entirely based on one simple logic. The logic is, if you are changing any value on the record which is firing this flow, if you are automatically changing any field value for the record which is firing this flow, then you will always use this.
So can you please repeat it once?
When you are, what is it written? Update fields on the record that triggers the flow to run. Like I am creating a new account. I put the values and then I hit a save. If I am changing any of the field values of that account record automatically, then I will use this one. Okay? Automatic field value changing for that same record, not the same object. Okay, please mind you. I am not saying that if this is a very important distinction to be made. And why it will be important, I will tell you later. So it is record. Which record is firing this flow? If you are changing any field of that record automatically, then you will use this one. Fast field updates. If you want to make any changes or create any record other than the record which is firing this flow, you will use this. Any actions or any other record which needs to be updated or created, you will always do after save. You will not do it before save. Before save will only fire or should be used for the record which is firing this flow. Only if you want to modify that record. This is for anything else. Anything else. So, if I want to replace my workflow and my flow, a process builder, how many flows will I have to create? Bolo. What automations do we have? What did we create so far using flows and process builders? কি কি অটোমেশন করেছি এতক্ষণ ধরে মনে করতে পারছো না?
So workflow rules, process builder.
আরে ভাই
and,
করছি কি করছি কি কাজ করছি, অ্যাকশনস গুলো কি?
আচ্ছা অ্যাকশন গুলো হচ্ছে একটা টাস্ক করছি, একটা
হুম।
মেল পাঠাচ্ছি,
হুম,
আর হচ্ছে একটা ফিল্ড আপডেট করছি, আর একটা ফিল্ড আর একটা রেকর্ড ক্রিয়েট করছি।
রেকর্ড করছি, চারটে আজ কাজ করছি আমি।
হুম।
তো চারটে টোটাল অ্যাকশন আছে। আমি যদি বলি এবার ফ্লো দিয়ে করতে হবে এই চারটে অ্যাকশন, তাহলে আমি কি করব? ফার্স্ট ফ্লোটা কি হবে? এই ফ্লোটা এই পর্যন্ত তো সেম। এবার যে কোনো একটা আমি ইউজ করতে পারবো। কি ইউজ করব? which one should I use first?
আফটার রেকর্ড করবো স্যার।
After record করব। আচ্ছা, let's do it. In after record what will happen?
আফটার, কারণ এটা হচ্ছে
I can choose the actions from here. I think I will go to this format, which is easier for you to understand. Here, these are the things you can do. You can create record, update record, get record, delete record. And this is the logic you can use. Assignment, decision, loop. I think these three is good enough for you. And there is some actions, sub actions. Let's forget this. So we'll only work on these 3 items and these 4 items. Okay. Let's see. What do I need to do? Tell me. Just create the contact here, right? So auto contact. Let's finish that up job. I was creating only one record. Use all values from a record. Okay, that is not I am doing. I will select my contact and let's define the fields. Which the last name is mandatory. What is the value of last name? I will choose a account name. I will simplify it a little bit. First name and account ID. These are the three fields I have to populate, right? Account ID. How will I get the account ID? The account ID will be the account ID I will have to fill up from the record which is firing this flow. The record which is firing this flow is stored in a global variable called $record. So I will click on this and I will take the ID value from it. This. So record ID is now filled up. The same from the same I will do an auto hard-coded auto. So I will save it now auto flow. Okay, this is first and last name was account name. So let's give that account name. Again, I will go back to the dollar and I will take name field this time. Done. So one task is done. We are able to create a flow. How do I do the rest of the things? I have to create a task also, right? Here, the actions come into picture. Oh. Any questions so far? Flows is the most important topic and it's a big topic. I will have multiple classes for this. Let's first activate these actions only. We will keep on doing it in the next class. So we will save it. Auto create the contact flow. And I will activate this too. So I am creating a new record. Definitely, I use that thing. So now if I go and create a new account, this flow, flow one. Now what is happening? The workflow rule got fired. That is also working. In contacts, I can see two contacts. One was created by process builder. One was created by workflow. You see? So everything is firing from the same record. Now, what will happen if I wanted to update a field value of the account which is firing this? Just like description I was firing, right? What I want to do, I want to update it. 1 second. I'm on the flow, new flow. The same logic I want to to account create or update. Condition is same. Active is equal to yes, and it will fire only once. This time I will use this one. Okay, there's other ways of doing it. Simple. I will use this assignment first. Okay, and it's called assign value. Assign so I can use the account name. I definitely know which is the account name, which is which is there. And if I want to change the account name to account name plus test. So every time something is getting saved, I automatically want to change the name of that account to test. So that I don't have to put that value again and again. Assignment. Here, if you change this to free form, you will see, sorry, the actions was wrong. Update. When I'm updating any of the field values for the contact, for the record which is firing it, right? I should choose this one, not this one. I did not choose this. Now I have come back again to this. So assignment is done. Here you will see you have no option to create a new record. You cannot delete a record. Okay, you can only use this action. This is not required because assignment is enough for you to fire this. Whenever you assign, that record will always get saved. So this update record firing is not required. And if you want to fetch some data and then use it for assigned values, let me give you an example. Here, choose record type or get record type. There are two record types, right? We are using in account.
Yes, sir. Marketing and sales.
So here is an object which is called record type, which stores all types of records, right? Here, there is only one record type. Okay. So I will automatically change the record type to sales. Okay, if I want to do this, so I will check the developer name, and the developer name I have to check in Workbench for that record type. This is a developer name, and you will also see a subject type. These two are very important. See, in account object we have two record types, and in contact object we also have two record types. So developer name is marketing. So let me say that every time I choose this field, I will always save it as marketing. Okay. So I will first, why do I need this? I need this because, and I will do a automatic store of all fields. Only the first record is needed because there will be only one record, right? And there would be another condition, which is the subject type. Yes, object type equals to account. Right? Replace value account. So now I have fetched the ID, right? Or the whole record. This whole record I have fetched. This one, this record. So it will also have ID. If I use the filter like here, same filter, what will happen? A subject type equal to account sub, and what did I choose? Another thing is developer name, right? Developer name was marketing. This is what I have already chosen, right? This is getting fetched in my flow. This one, get record. The benefit of using this is that I can now use this in my assignment. How can I do? I will go there, and in the record type, this global variable record also has a record type. Record type ID. Here, I will now assign the previous activity get record types ID field. So the record which I got here, I am using the ID of that record and assigning it to the record type. That means I am now able to get records, and this is, I will say, assign values to accounts. This is mine, and I will activate. So if I go and choose our create a new account, this time I will create a sales account. By mistake, I will test before flow. Yeah, I'm not using the test word here. I am not filling up anything, and I will, of course, give the active is equal to yes. I'm saving is sales, right? This is the sales record type. I saved it. Now automation will fire, right? You see, the automation has already changed the name. It has added test with it. That means that has fired. The workflow is still firing. The after trigger flow is also firing. Can I see which you see? Marketing has become the record type. And it is asking me now you can change it to sales. That means even if I chose sales, automatically the record type while it got saved, it changed it. So I can fetch data to make some assignments also. If it is a lookup field, definitely I have to do a get data, get rate, this one, get assignment. I have to do a get data because in the lookup fields I will only have to store the IDs. So where will I get the IDs? IDs will the user will never provide IDs. That is why we have to do it. Okay, so this is what the whole idea is. We will go back to the assignment and we will talk about what needs to be done there. It's time to go back to our film assignment. What I want you guys to do now is there is a standard field on actor object, right? Standard salary field. Whenever I put some value on this, right, that should automatically be assigned to all the salaries for that actor. Same value will be assigned to all the salaries for this actor. That means in the Ranbir Kapoor, for Ranbir Kapoor, he was taking 10 crore and 20 crore, 10 crore for Barfi and 20 crore for Tamasha. This will get overridden, this will change, and it will become whatever you have put in the standard salary automatically. How will you do this? You will do this using a flow. Okay. So this is the assignment. Please complete this before the next meet.